Hi everyone, it's Dr. Nikki. Please subscribe to the channel and leave your comments in the box below. Today I'm here with my friend Serah D'laine, and Serah is such an amazing person, a beautiful person inside and out, and we share a lot of the same interests. Last week we had lunch and we got to talking about toxins in the environment. Toxins in the products we use, heavy metals. And this is really a big problem and something that many of us weren't aware about. I know I wasn't aware about this just even last year to 2 years ago. So, Serah, if you want to just tell us a little bit about you and what kind of led you to become really interested in this topic.
As most things do, personal experience, and I've become very passionate about it because I ended up taking a very extensive blood urine analysis test, and it showed extremely elevated levels of cadmium in my system.
And cadmium is a metal.
Yep, it's a neurotoxin. Along with, lead and mercury and all these other different very toxic metals that are in just about everything. So the question then became, wow, how did I have so much in my system? Why wasn't my body eliminating it, which it should be doing naturally through the support of your liver? And yeah, it brought on a lot of really wonderful information that I feel I could have taken the, victim mode of like, oh, poor me, now I have this thing, or I could look at it and be like, wow, this is actually empowering knowledge that now I have an opportunity to make a change in my life and actively be preventative for my own health.
Wonderful.
So yeah, there's a lot of things about it that I didn't know until now I do. And so now, yeah, I'd like to bring a lot of awareness to everybody about it because it is a growing epidemic of what's going on as far as our environmental toxins. So it's a huge, for me, it's a huge conversation and a necessary one.
It really is. And so just to bring light to some of the areas in the environment that this is a problem. And so offhand, the biggest one that comes to mind is in our oceans in terms of pollution, and that has gone up. And so that's why there's been some CDC warnings from the government warning about eating certain types of fish, especially big tuna fishes, because of mercury. Also, when you buy farm-raised fish, there's a lot of heavy metals and toxins in the environment that the fish are raised in, and then they eat that, and then you eat the fish, and it gets stored in your body. And you mentioned one to me that I kind of knew about, but then I forgot with the makeup and stuff. So if you want to talk about that,
I would love to. A big factor for heavy metals is, as a woman, and as all women I would think be concerned about, is in our makeup, and especially, in our lip gloss. And, most people don't think about it, but you're putting on lip gloss and you're kind of eating it.
Yeah. It's true. Or someone else's.
Or somebody else's. Which, hey, we want to take care of our friends too. But yes, especially, just to point out that Europe actually has totally different regulations for the maximum amount of toxic levels that they're allowing into their makeup. And it's something like 13 to 1500 that they will not put in their makeup, and America only bans 11. So we're a little behind the times, I think, on that. And part of my passion behind this is then finding the problem, and then identifying the problem, and then finding the solutions that work for me, that then I test and that I feel confident behind. So I feel, and in a holistic way as well. So I feel like I've been able to research all this information on these things, and then find the solutions of what is being presented to help support us in not putting these toxins back in our body. Whether it's the products that you're using on your body, whether it's the makeup that you're using, and it's for girls and for guys too. It's not Like,
Yeah.
it's not like anybody's exempt from this, you know, aluminum in
true.
your deodorant, like all these things that you would
It's
think
true.
would be basic. So yeah, so as we were saying, especially in our lip gloss, in our makeup, there's massive amounts of heavy metals.
So tell me about what products you have found in the
Beauty line.
Yeah, what beauty line? I know you've done some research, and so is there any that you recommend to
Yes.
women?
And you can even, you know, everybody always recommend doing their own research on it as well, just so that you have knowledge behind it. And so there are some really wonderful products sold at natural, you know, health food stores or whatever. And they'll say on the label, you know, no phthalates, no sulfates, no parabens, things like that. They won't always say no heavy metals, because technically if it says natural and organic, heavy metals are natural and organic.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
you really want to make sure that it's not. So one company that I found as far as makeup was Beauty Counter. And they're very, very dedicated to making sure that their levels are the same as Europe, or even then constantly doing research on, okay, what is the next, you know, toxic whatever, and making sure that those things are not in their products. And so, yeah, I was like, wow, this is really empowering. Again, you know, with information. And then, you know, I mean, I'm a girl. I want to wear makeup. I want to feel beautiful, but I also want to be empowered in doing that at the same time, and not feeling like it's disempowering me in some way.
And another option could be some of these European brands. Are they available in the U.S., or technically when they cross the European market?
That gets sticky, I know.
Do they? Yeah, are they not as tight about that? I'd imagine, though, if it was sourced from a European country, the formula wouldn't be changed. So if you do go to airports, you probably, or you travel, you probably have access to some of these other foreign companies.
So to answer your question, yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of research on what is available in Europe, just because I want to bring more awareness for what we can make available here.
Right. Okay, so Beauty Counter.
Yeah.
I'll remember that one.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And I'm sure there are a couple others as well. I really liked their mission, and I really liked their statement on what they were doing. And I was like, wow, okay, this is somebody who saw concern and then wanted to create a solution.
Right.
So I think that's kind of the way that we're going to change our world, is who's up to finding solutions for things.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And just to point out, the reason why we don't want to have elevated metals in the body is because it interferes with the natural regulation of the cells. And so even taking something like deodorant, for example, there have been some studies that link it to breast cancer, possibly because the aluminum gets into the cell cycle, and then it kind of gets thrown out of whack, and then the cells divide. And so think of this in other parts of the body. So mercury also is a neurotoxin. But it affects the liver, the heart, the kidneys, and testosterone, actually. So that's why I said it's not just for women. We're women, we need testosterone. You know, we definitely do, but men especially. Yeah, and in small doses, metals can act as cofactors for different reactions in the body, but it's when they get out of proportion and elevated that it really is a problem for our health, and can be linked to all these diseases, autoimmune diseases, cancers, just fatigue, even.
ADHD,
hormone imbalances. So keep in mind,
some levels autism.
And exactly. And so keep in mind that when you're shopping for products, you always want to read the label. And if there's all these metals, or if it doesn't seem very natural and you can't pronounce a lot of these names, you probably don't want to buy it. So choosing organic.
Or want it on you.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you go to your your regular pharmacies or supermarkets, most of those products are not going to be free of metals. You want to go to health food stores or places that you research online, and we can leave some links below. And I'm not sure if you have a website that you want to share with them for them to reach you at, or if they have any other questions.
Absolutely. So I have sovereignalliance.com. So it's sovereign-alliance.com. And so Sovereign Alliance is one of a company that I developed to, same thing, address problems and then find solutions, or making products for these things, or then repping certain products. I like to make things accessible for people. So, yeah, those links I think will be down at the bottom. And then I did actually start repping Beauty Counter, just at least to talk about it and make it available for people. So I think, yeah, we can put those links down at the bottom.
And so if you're interested in trying Beauty Counter, we'll leave a link that you can purchase some items through. And thank you so much, Serah. I'm sure we will have you back on the Dr. Nikki channel, and it's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much for having me on. This was a blast.
Yes, wonderful. Great. So thank you so much for being here today. Please subscribe to the channel and leave your comments in the box below. Thanks. Bye.